later, the tribulation period starts. I grew up hearing this, some of you may have as well, that people that had a clear opportunity to receive Christ through the gospel and rejected that after the rapture takes place during the tribulation, they're not going to have a chance to be saved. Have you ever heard that before? That's been a common teaching. And it's based on these verses in Thessalonians. Notice it says, God will send upon them, or the end of verse 10, with all the deception of wickedness for those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth so as to be saved. And for this reason, God will send upon them a deluding influence, so that they might believe, literally, that they might believe the lie, in order that they may be judged, who did not believe the truth, but took pleasure in wickedness. Now, again, if you read those verses, though, the setting of those verses is during the tribulation period, right? This is all this whole section here is about the tribulation. So what it's saying, I believe, is that people during the tribulation period who make a clear rejection of Christ, God then is going to send upon them deluding influence so that they'll believe the lie and won't accept the truth. It's not talking about people that are alive today who rejected the gospel. It's talking about people whenever the Antichrist is on earth. And by the way, when the Antichrist comes, people are going to have to make a clear choice. Are they going to take Christ or are they going to take Antichrist? If they make the choice for Antichrist, then God is going to unleash this deluding influence and give the wicked over to the error they've chosen. Now, having said that, I also don't want to give somebody false, some kind of false idea. Well, I've heard people say, well, I'll just wait. If the end times come, and I'll just accept Christ then. If the rapture comes, everybody disappears, I'll realize that was the truth. Well, I always like to tell them, it's never going to get any easier to believe in the gospel than it is now. If you won't believe it now, what makes you think you're going to believe it then? When you have to give your life for it. So we don't want to give any people some false illusion on that, or some illusion. But again, if we put these verses in their context, I think it gets rid of that idea that, if you hear the gospel now and believe it, you're left behind, you can't be saved in the future. I don't think that that's what this passage is saying here. In its context. I want to end here tonight. My time's up, I believe. And we started out here talking about the rapture. This passage is about the relationship of the rapture to the day of the Lord. I was reading a book a while back by Philip Ryken. He's certainly no pre-tribber, but he's got a book called Loving Jesus More. I want to read this story. I thought it ministered to you. I've enjoyed it, and we'll close with this. He says, the true story of Lap v. Ho illustrates how important it is to keep love alive. In the days leading up to the fall of Saigon, Lap was desperate to get his family to safety. This was in January of 1975 when the Americans were pulling out of South Vietnam. As a senior administrator at the University of Saigon, Lap feared for his life. Fortunately, he was able to send his pregnant wife and young son ahead to Bangkok, Thailand. When he showed up at the airport a few days later planning to join them, his passport was confiscated and he was thrown in prison. Over the next 5 years, Lap V. Ho did everything humanly possible to rejoin his family. He escaped and was recaptured 6 times, only to suffer extreme hardship, deprivation, and abuse afterward. The 7th time proved to be the charm, however. Lap escaped from camp and walked to Cambodia, where he was promptly captured by the vicious army of the Khmer Rouge. Remarkably, he escaped again and helped 30 other prisoners commandeer a boat and row all the way to Thailand, where he was taken to a camp for refugees. In the meantime, Lap V. Ho's wife had given birth to their daughter. She wanted her children to grow up loving their father, so she would show them his picture every day, talking about him and praying for him. Strange to say, but the little girl grew up without ever saying a word. She seemed to be fully intelligent, yet for some reason, maybe it was sadness, she was unable or unwilling to speak. Then came the day of their happy reunion. Word of Lap's escape reached his wife and children. They quickly traveled to his refugee camp, and when they arrived, Lap's daughter recognized her father immediately. She ran to him, fell into his arms, and began to talk excitedly. Her parents say she hasn't stopped talking since. And he closes with this. This is beautiful. One day we will see Jesus for the very first time. We will recognize him right away because we spend time with him every day. We spend time with him every day, hearing about him in God's Word and seeing his picture in the Gospel. Though we have not seen him, we love him. And when we finally do see him, we will fall into his arms, tell him our praises never stop. I love that. It's a beautiful picture. All will take place someday. I pray that's the hope of every one of us. Let's pray together. Father, we thank you for